Yeah, so, but he's going through this, so.
Remember that fork in the road? If you needed more conversation to know which route he took, this album, his moves, has told you.
His moves.
I told you what those two choices were. But we could start off with one thing, and we'll even mention Kai.
What type of fit is
Salute to Kai,
that?
by the way. Kai, you know I love you. And yeah.
It's the X
Drake's
to the O.
relationship with media has changed.
He's painting this picture.
It's changed a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I was pretty surprised that Drake went that hard at Joe today. But I'm not going to lie. I was kind of surprised that Drake went that hard at Elliott Wilson when he did. Actually, I was also surprised that he went at 𝔓𝔦𝔐𝔓𝔦𝔑.
All right, I got you.
As much. Because I don't think any of those guys' comments was lathered in hate. I could tell you what all of them said. Elliott Wilson, even though, granted, I agree with Drake and him saying this or him feeling like this, Elliott Wilson should be appreciated. If you've done mad interviews with Drake, many people haven't. You should understand. But that is a conversation we've all had. Well, why does it look like Drake seems to be staying away from hip-hop media? It's not like he's staying away from media, period. He's staying away from hip-hop media. That's a legit question. He didn't like it when Elliott was.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna insert the bell.
Yeah.
Before that section that we just played, because that is something that I wanted to talk about too. It's just like people saying like hip hop media is dying, or it's like Drake has sparked the conversation of is hip hop media outlets, is it out? It's just done. Where rappers are like, why would I go to a hip hop media outlet when I can go to a streamer or go to a comedian's podcast or something like that, or do a Bobby Altoff or a Funny Marco.
I think it's too soon to say.
Yeah.
I think it's a little too soon to say too, but a lot of people are like, maybe he's pushing this narrative because it does sound better to say that he's chosen new media over me when I got stood up.
But he did choose you. He promised you.
But he did.
And you are on Twitch like Kai.
Yeah, so.
I don't
but the
think
numbers are very different.
Very different.
Yeah,
and even the people who are those numbers are different. Completely different.
Yeah, because I wonder what his streaming numbers were for his album listening. Like if somebody gets shot, academics would do 50,000, but what does he do when to album listening? What, 2,500? 3,000?
It might depend on the
He
album.
does like 10,000.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
His regular lives be 10,000
across all platforms.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about those YouTube numbers.
YouTube, he'd be like 8,000
on a listening, but he never does it on YouTube because you can't do it on YouTube.
Oh, I don't know about the listening. Yeah, I was just.
I'm
saying
talking about
YouTube.
like I don't even think he does. He doesn't do 8,000 all the time. I'm feeling like it'd be like 4 to 5.
Oh, every time I was
Like,
saying it'd be like 7, 8.
8 to 10 is when like something's going on, but when something's really going on, it might
be
hit
when I'm
20.
tapping
It's
in.
hit 20 or more.
But he's doing 4 to 5 daily, right?
He's doing 4 to 5 days a week.
And he's doing, no, I'm saying 45,000 daily.
Right. I
So
think that's the average.
Should we multiply those numbers then?
For Drake listening? Like, why
No,
would Drake?
should like when we say how many viewers he's actually getting, it's not the same 4 to 5,000 niggas every day.
I think it is because that's your median number. Like your median number is the people keep coming back.
Them, yeah,
Yeah, a good portion.
It's a majority of them.
Yeah, a majority of them are coming back. At least 60% of them.
So you don't feel like it would
70%
be just to add all those numbers together?
No, I don't think so.
What would
Because why would Drake call into a stream with maybe 10,000 people in there when Kai got 87,000 people, 150,000 people right now? Of course, I'm FaceTiming this nigga.
Right.
That album just came out. If
He
you
got
didn't-
better self-service.
And if you didn't stream it, hey, y'all should stream it. You asking 150,000 people directly
Right.
to hit play on one song. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I waste time over here? But yeah, I think it is a little too early for people to be trying to. It seems like there's like it feels like there's like a force on people trying to have that conversation. But at the same time, I can't be a hater because I've been saying, I said at the beginning of this week, I watched the last couple Theo Von interviews of rappers that I watched. I said, Theo Von is smoking these rapper interviews right now. He got better rapper interviews than like The Breakfast Club, Hot 97. He's killing these niggas. All the hip hop platforms, the rapper interviews are way better at the 𝙿𝙾𝚳𝚃's podcast. What was it about last week? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Would hip hop media dying affect like anything regarding hip hop? Like, would it change anything?
It would fuck up nostalgia. But I think going forward,
like, would it, or is that just another means of marketing the artist? Like, it's not going to change nothing. It's just going to change, like, you know.
It could change the connection with the artist because it's like
they're pretty much saying journalism is dead.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the bigger conversation.
Ideally, real hip hop media is gonna ask real questions as opposed to just like you bullshitting for 24 hours with a nigga.
Right. Or just joking with somebody.
I don't even think it's. That's like when people say hip hop is dead, but it's like they can't name no new artist that isn't on the radio. It's like you can't say that if you're not looking at the right places.
They mean a certain,
because something's
they mean a
always
certain
coming.
sound though. They mean a certain style of hip hop, and that's actually what we're talking about right now. A certain style of media,
of hip hop media.
And Drake wasn't hip hop. I feel like 3 years ago. So when did he be like come back over to hip hop? He was pop. Like a couple years ago.
That was probably a little sabbatical, but you know, historically,
a little bit, yeah, a little bit
this
more.
nigga came back.
He did step away during views. It was like real pop.
It was real popish, but that's just the style of the music.
But it was always, it was just the style of the music. He was always hip hop, but in terms of like hip hop always covering him. But like, I don't know. I guess this whole journalism is dead thing, like real journalism. What'll happen if it's extinguished out? I think
we need to say whose ass.
I think these niggas need to step it the fuck up.
I'm about to say, I think we need to say whose ass.
Yeah, I don't think it's dead. I just think the hip hop media platforms, these niggas, the last people that were shaking shit up where I was, Charlamagne's interviews with these rappers and people that he would come in.
On YouTube or The Breakfast Club?
The Breakfast Club. Okay. Like those first 5 to 7 years of interviews, the niggas' questions were crazy. We were locked in because it was like, but we're about to get a real interview. But now I could care less about watching an interview. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really got to be somebody I fuck with because he's not even going to be pressing the same way he was. We're not getting, that was the last, like, we already know Rap Radar, it's really guest specific and then it still might not be the most
It's always
fun.
going to be boring.
Yeah, it's always going to be boring. Long story short. Like, you really have to love the artist to enjoy the show.
You got to love journalism.
Or B-Dot.
Yeah. Nobody loves B-Dot.
You got to love research and well thought out questions.
Yeah, so it's like they got to step it the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club was the last wave that I remember being like, yeah, I got to see that hip hop platform interview this person. You know what I'm saying? Besides that and that, I would say in terms of that, the comedians, the podcasting took them too.
Yeah.
The podcasting in general.
The flow of everything, like the flow of like the state of what media is.
Yeah.
The way that people are consuming it too.
But also, maybe it's because the music isn't that good. Maybe it's because the music isn't that good. Why I've been saying a lot recently, like, I don't want to hear, I haven't heard music is so good that I want to hear somebody ask, what was your mindset going into this album? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And it's maybe
you didn't care.
Yeah, and maybe it's because the music just isn't good enough for me to care. You know what I'm saying? Maybe,
it's fucking Moneybag Yo.
But I don't even remember. I mean, like,
they say Doja shit is crazy. They say Yachty shit was crazy.
But like, I remember when Victory Lap came out.
Yeah, that was deep.
I was fully invested in Victory Lap, but I have been following the journey for so long. So even if I heard somebody ask Nipsey, what was your mindset going into this? I probably didn't care a fuck about the answer then either because I kind of already knew, I guess, maybe. But I don't know. I do like watching the artists that I enjoy listening to have a more enjoyable conversation than answering a bunch of questions about music.
I think these we need to look for different people for these like positions now.
Yeah.
Like Speedy need to step up. Like, who are these like young black niggas doing what they do? Because at the end of the day, Moneybag Yo going to Theo Von, it's always gonna blow up. Because one, it's like white people seeing a rapper, so it's just like that
odd pairing thing.
You know, the
Bobby Althoff odd pairing thing.
You know what I mean?
Sure. So, that's always gonna have its own stimulus package. Which, as somebody trying to promote an album, it's hard to deny that. It's hard to turn down that, but. People are just saying in general, that mean just because it's a good opportunity doesn't mean you shouldn't go to.
That you should exclusively do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much what they're saying. But I guess I can think from. I'm just looking from the artist perspective. Shit, nigga, why would I go there when? Why would I get 100 million views or? Why would I get 500,000 views over here at the Breakfast Club or Hot 97 when I'm gonna do 5 million at Bobby Altoff?
Right.
Guaranteed. Without me having to answer tough questions, I don't want to get answers to.
And I don't have to address anything I don't want to.
Yeah, it is weird. Like this conversation, it literally just got sparked out of nowhere. Like there's, I feel like there's no real base to the conversation. Like I think I read somewhere that like rap sales are down, but like nigga, so what? Everything goes ups and down. Like you expect,
and aren't all sales down? So just rap sales being
that
down.
Has been kind of a theme of all year. This music has kind of sucked this last year.
Rap being down, like rap is it's one of the most smallest pockets of music.
Yeah.
Like sectors. Like you have pop, country, nigga, Christian rap.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Christian.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So rap, I mean, shit, rap being down, it's kind of a benefit. Like shit, we've been going up for so long, it's down finally.
Yeah. Shit, we
get a break.
Low key, even in terms of this, like the conversation is hip hop platform is the real journalism part. That's really the solution. Really, the solution is the younger niggas need to step up. The old niggas need to step up. The solution is the old niggas got to get out the way.
But it's
or either pick it the fuck up.
Right.
What it is, and it's the people with the platforms. They have to interview artists that are like, you know, they can interview. You can have those conversations with.
Yeah.
Like it's not a lot of those artists you can have a conversation with. Yeah. These niggas just spawning out of nowhere. Like,
especially an established artist like. If I'm Drake, I don't want to answer. If I don't want to ask questions, if I don't want you to ask questions about fatherhood or my son, why would I go to the Breakfast Club or something like that?
Yeah.
Like when you're gonna ask me that shit.
When you could just go to Kai and just
joke around for the next 24 hours.
Joke around. You know what I mean?
It's such a more lighthearted atmosphere.
And get 40 and maybe get 10 memes or TikToks that get 10 million a piece. You know
it's kind of a good financial, good just strategy overall when you think about it.
Right.
The hardest question,
high reward, low risk.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
The hardest question he's gonna ask is probably like, "Yo, Drake, they want to know what's your favorite candy." Like, chat.
Yeah.
Chat.
Drake just told you.
Right.
Like, you know,
like the Offset and Kai stream is still going viral to this day. Offset is great on camera and
24
streaming.
hours of entertainment.
Nigga, like it's like in different sections. Like most recently, I feel like they're onto the section where they're asking, do you smoke? Do you eat? Do you brush your teeth before you eat or after you eat? That was a 1 minute conversation they had that's going viral. Then after that, it was Offset breaking down the Krusty Krab was really selling crab cakes, and Mr. Crab was a betrayer that was eating all the crabs.
Yeah,
in the ocean. Like it's like now that conspiracy is taking off. So it's like
these are all different. That one
but
got
you
me
see,
fucked
these
up.
are like
that one had me fucked up.
That one got me fucked up.
Like that's some
that
shit
crazy.
I heard. Like that's
exactly.
It's cool, but
Kai and Offset were having that
but
conversation.
that's what it should be.
Exactly.
That's what it should be, and it shouldn't try to be anything else.
What do you think is harder?
The journalism standard
traditional
interview.
Journalism, come to the Breakfast Club, we're gonna ask you a bunch of good ass questions. You in here for an hour and some change. Or spending 24 hours chilling with a nigga and making that entertaining.
That one might be harder. The second one. The second one's harder. I think chilling with somebody for 24 hours for sure.
I could definitely
just
see
because long-term streaming in general is hard. Like streaming is not as easy as people make it look.
Hard.
You know what I mean? So I think this, and even though they're two different skills in general, entertaining somebody and keeping because you're essentially trying to keep their spirit up
the whole time
for that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even if you do have a low moment, the low moment is pre-planned. You know what I mean? Like it's you're cultivating a lot more hours. You can get a solid hour, especially if it's like we're just looking at the Breakfast Club. Because I can't think of anywhere else that like does good interviews. Well, I take that back. Well, you already brought up Speedy. Speedy is good. I like Speedy interviews. Okay. I like any Nadeska interview, honestly, too. And Nadeska's one of the few people that like. People are comfortable with Nadeska, which is why I like when she does interview people, because they normally open up for Nadeska more than any other platform. Like the conversations that she can get out of people is always a little bit better.
Yeah. $1 million worth of game?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes for
On
sure.
occasion.
On occasion. It's not always the same, but somebody who's a fan of them, you're gonna get a good interview. Yeah, if you're a fan of $1 Million Gillian Wallow, it's gonna be a good
like
interview.
the person being interviewed if they're a fan of them.
If they're a fan of them.
But you see, that's like
That's a kind of crazy caveat.
That's like you got to kiss the ring.
That's the craziest caveat, nigga.
Right.
That's like,
You
of
have to like
course.
me.
Yeah, that's true.
That is kind of crazy. It's kind of a crazy, like, you have to have this.
So
but
they're not good.
Yeah, so I guess so. And then Drink Champs, we know those interviews are always going to be bad. Unless the guest decides to pick up and carry everything.
Unless they're from New York too, and then they just
a bunch of niggas
a
yelling
bunch
at
of
each other.
synergy.
Yeah, true.
Just a bunch of niggas vibing.
I did put a clip of Rick Ross and
Big Bill
at Ebro's
joint.
Yeah.
The only reason I put that there was because first of all, the quality was fucking crazy crispy. Did y'all click that video?
Yeah, I was.
No.
And it was entertaining. It was good. Ebro was so much better at Beats Radio.
I was thinking about that. Like watching this made me realize that whole The Breakfast Club versus Hot 97 made me irrationally not like this nigga.
Exactly.
Because
No,
I
no.
was enjoying this.
No, me too.
Well, I was just trying to be objective. I'm like, Ebro's not bad at all.
He's
This is
not
not a bad guy.
He's not bad. Like I said, when I was watching like Juan Epstein and shit, I was on the first fuck everybody at Hot 97 except the Juan Ep podcast because I was watching the Juan Ep podcast.
Yeah.
But besides that, I was so on the Breakfast Club side. But
Guilty
then,
pleasure.
Yeah, but then when Ebro started like popping in on Juan Ep, I'm like, this nigga's really not bad and it's kind of entertaining. But I don't like Ebro in the morning at all. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't that shit.
version of Ebro is trash. Like, but the Beats version of Ebro way more entertaining.
Because
And
it pays them more.
it does. Yeah.
Studios Alamos.
But yeah, he seems more comfortable, but I don't know. The nigga Ebro be tweeting like he don't even work at Ebro in the morning no more. I don't know what the fuck that should be about. Like, but I'm like, I hate that he keeps going viral for tweeting shit. He hasn't tried to go viral at work in a minute. Like, for Ebro in the morning in terms of like getting at a nigga. He's getting at niggas on Twitter, and I don't really like that. I don't like when like these you know what it is too? The old niggas gotta keep it up.
Yeah.
The old niggas got to keep up. This is me complaining about an old nigga doing old media tactics.
Yeah.
Why are you like unloading the clip on Twitter? Unload the clip on your paid platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like that shit.
It's just what
Granted-
he's used to.
Granted, he's not the boss
Over there.
of that. He's the boss of his Twitter.
True.
You get what I mean? Like, it's probably shit like
We got to.
he has to run through.
Yeah, that's true.
His boss.
He might not even be it. Yeah, that's true.
Like, he's an employee.
Yeah.
and he's the program director, or he was the program director, so he's pretty high up there still. But still,
You high up,
Everybody
but
has somebody to answer. Everybody has a
everybody-
Papi Chulo somewhere.
he's still
everybody's got
the
to answer to somebody still for
he's,
sure.
he's still the racially ambiguous whatever
Think that
he
plays into
is,
it?
What
like
is
in
he?
a workspace.
Black and white.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe.
like
Maybe.
the black and white mix can make so many different incarnations.
Yeah.
You know when you finally get a nigga, his backstory was on Juan Ep. And it was like, you know when you finally hear a nigga's backstory, you're like, this nigga's all right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like he's relatable.
Right.
human.
Like his mom, his mom had to escape their house because she was getting beat up by their dad. Like they had, like an organization had to like essentially like help her escape one night type shit. And then they fled over here. And then, so he's had an eventful ass life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It made for a
Built
good,
some chemistry.
it made for a great podcast. I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like, damn, this nigga story's got crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was a good interview. But Rick Ross is also good. I couldn't tell if Rick Ross was carrying it.
Rick Ross carries most things that he's a
He
part
does. He was so entertaining, bro.
The
He's
balls.
He
hilarious.
was so entertaining. It was just like, yeah, play some of this actually, because I don't
Rick
think
Ross
there's
is
any.
one
I
of the
don't think there's
first,
any music.
Let's find out.
There's a new album on the way from
That's
these two
probably
niggas,
music.
right?
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just watch this, y'all. It's good. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the way Rick Ross
I'll
talks
show it
stuff.
so niggas
They
know
just
what
float
it's
so
for.
effortlessly.
They're flowing
It's
so
almost like they were
effortless.
all real good friends.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But you gotta remember, Rick Ross has been in the fucking game for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And he's been at the radio for 20 plus years. So
He's also
Exactly.
lost 20 plus pounds.
yeah, so it's like, and same with Meek Mill. Shit, Meek Mill's been in the game for 20 plus years. So it's like
Yeah,
they've
damn.
known each other.
20?
Meek
Nah.
Mill.
Meek was like 16, 15, 14.
Meek
you know what I'm
Mill
saying? Like,
What do you mean by
Yeah.
that game? Like,
in the game as in, bro, the DVDs, when the DVDs were popping,
Okay.
that was in the game. That was in the game for sure. Yeah, like
I thought you meant like
He probably
signed
ran-
to a label.
an entire coast. No. You didn't have to be signed to a label. The entire coast knew who you were.
he
At
round, he
least
rounded 20.
New
He-
York,
he round-
Connecticut,
rounded
Maryland, DC, Jersey. Like, yeah,
This nigga
those-
with fuzzy braids rapping his heart out.
yeah, and they've known. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I guess old niggas got to pick it up, and these new niggas keep doing them. Y'all got to keep up with the young niggas, man. Everything's a young man sport, pretty much.
I'm about to say, look at Rick Ross' chain. That's a young nigga chain. He keeping up.
Right. There's not too many industries, so like, I don't want to hear niggas complaining really about like journalism has died and shit like that. And honestly, shit, when Elliot reposted us, we were the niggas like Jinx, who was a young nigga not keeping up. It's like he's the type that like had a problem with what we were saying about Rap Radar. Nigga, you need to keep up. You don't have nothing I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of these younger niggas who ain't got shit I'm looking for. I'm checking for.
Yeah.
So it's like even y'all need to keep up. Y'all admiring these old niggas so much, you getting left in the dust, and you're still in the age range to compete.
Yeah.
And you're not competing. So
And you don't have the excuse.
and you definitely don't have the excuse. Your excuse is you love these old niggas too much. You need to be
Too much loyalty
What the
and
fuck is that
respect,
about? You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just crazy. So yeah, niggas got to keep up, bro. It's like shit.
It's plain and simple. It'll be better for the game
This
overall,
isn't
though.
a- this
Everybody's
is-
trying harder.
I think entertainment is just like it's entertainment in general, because journalism's entertainment. There's a lot of industries you have to be able to adapt and change quickly. You know when you like applying for a job and they're like, "Are you able to adapt and change quickly?" You better answer yes, because that's obviously what the environment
Hell,
is.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like niggas thinking that this medium is gonna be good for the next 50 years is crazy. To even try to complain that rappers don't want to go to these platforms, it's like, why?
It all comes down to like who's at these platforms. Like,
Who's at the platforms? What numbers am I going to produce out of this?
Yeah.
Like,
because it's still a numbers game.
yeah, I don't want to waste my
Yeah.
fucking time. Why am I going over here for 500,000 views when I can get 20
Literally. It'll
and
blink
go
of an eye.
viral for the next 50 years off of a couple moments that happened during this stream or this interview? Like,
Talking to some some
Yeah.
short dread-headed nigga.
right? Especially, yeah. Come on, man. It's just
Nigga,
like
that's
keep
simple.
up, old niggas. Last thing.